Hey, what's up, everyone? I hope you're having a blessed day. This weekend, Arkansas is traveling across the country to take on BYU, which should be a great game and atmosphere. If I'm not mistaken, it is a whiteout sellout for the Cougars, so you can certainly expect their fans to bring the energy. There's a lot of similarities and polar opposites identity-wise for both of these teams who both kind of have their backs against the wall right now and are looking to right the ship and build some real tangible momentum as they head into the back end of the season. I've been a fan of Coach Kalani Sitake and BYU, watching them over the last handful of years from afar, seeing the way they play, and he really strikes me as a coach that players genuinely love to play for, which is obviously something that can be said about the pit boss, Sam Pittman, over at Arkansas. Just two guys looking to continue to build up their programs for success and do so the right way. That said, both of these teams individually come in with quite a different set of strengths and weaknesses, and both are more than adequately equipped to attack and exploit each other's weaknesses. Both BYU and Arkansas's weaknesses are on the defensive side of the ball, where the Cougars surrender 250 yards per game on the ground, and the Razorbacks surrender 307 yards per game through the air, which, if you're wondering, is good for 100th and 127th nationally. Whereas offensively, conversely, BYU has a solid passing attack, and Arkansas has one of the most formidable rushing attacks in the country, ranking 42nd and 11th, respectively. On paper, this looks like a game that's going to be back and forth and relatively close throughout. Obviously, a big key for each of these teams is how well they can exploit each other's weaknesses, but also how well can they execute and operate when they're forced to go away from their bread and butter. For BYU, can they properly mix in their run game? And for Arkansas, can they properly mix in their passing attack based upon what each opposing defense is doing? As I mentioned earlier, both of these teams are kind of at turning points in their seasons where if they still want to play in a prominent bowl game, if they still want to have the type of season that they themselves will be proud of, then it has to start right here with this game. So regardless who ultimately wins, I think we're going to see a great battle between these two teams. Both are pretty evenly matched. I think you'd have to give the slight advantage to Arkansas talent-wise, but this game's 100% coming down to preparation. Which one of these groups comes into the game more prepared? There's not enough talent discrepancy either way that either of these teams can afford to not have a solid and at least relatively clean performance. At the end of the day, though, I just like Arkansas's strength a little bit more than I like BYU's strength. I think the rushing attack is going to be such a vital asset in this game. Even if they don't go wild for like 300 yards on the ground or something like that, they should still be able to run effectively enough to keep the offense calm, steady, and on track despite the crowd, and should be able to force BYU's hand defensively at times to open up big opportunities for quarterback KJ Jefferson and the Razorback wide receivers. But that said, BYU's offense is certainly capable of doing virtually the same to Arkansas's defense via a different method of attack. It likely just comes down to which offense can get their foot on the gas and build momentum faster. The last time I checked the line on this game, it was basically a pick'em, and that's for good reason. But give me Arkansas to find a way on the road to get a much-needed win before a much-needed bye, 38-34. If you enjoy the content, please remember to like and subscribe so that we can continue to grow this thing together. And if you're already a member of the Rabid Razorback family, as always, thank you for all the love and support. Until next time, I pray the Lord keeps you all safe and blessed, and of course, go Hogs!